Hello there, it's Francis here from Generational Wealth Academy. Now, on today's video, I'm going to be, answering or seeking to answer a question I do get asked, ever so often, by those in my trading community or those that I mentor, and the question, is along the lines of, what is the best trading strategy? What is the best technique? What is the best trading style to use in trading the Forex market? Now, I would say, really, in a nutshell, it depends on what you have learned and mastered. That is, in a simple statement, what my answer is and what my answer I believe would always be. It really depends on what you have learned and what you have mastered. That is, it depends on what you know and works for you. It really depends on the strategy or trading style that you know that works for you. So, even as we have on this in front of us right here on the chart, you can see that it is a naked chart. Naked chart in a sense that it doesn't got any indicators whatsoever. I entered this trade about 2 hours ago, and even as you can see, I am currently about 23 pips or so up on the trade. I entered the trade on this candle. Basically, I turned on my computer, turned on my chart, and boom, I saw something that was immediately tradable, and I entered the trade. It was meant to be a quick scalp, but for some reason I decided I would leave the trade, to see how much pips I could get from this. So basically, it just depends on what you know that works for you, because there are a whole number of trading styles out there. There are a whole number of trading techniques and strategies. And what you have learned that works for you is what you should stick to. Seek to master it, and obviously it would bring in the pips and profit. I'll be showing you a number of other charts today, because in as much as I love to trade naked charts, or if you like, price action, I also do apply indicators occasionally. There are times when I just couldn't be bothered marking up my chart. Let me show you, as a matter of fact, let me show you another chart. In saying that, this is just to say that this is going to be part one of a two-part video series. I'm going to be in the next video sharing with you one of my trading strategies that has worked for me for quite a while. As a matter of fact, it's a strategy I have employed using the Bollinger Band, which is my indicator of choice, as it were. So in as much as I do trade price action without the use of indicators, I also do use indicators as well. Now let me go to this particular chart. Chart at the moment is that of USD JPY. Let's go to another chart which is a trade I'm also in currently, the Euro NZD. You can see here that I have actually marked up my chart here, drawing up the support and resistance zones, and using the equidistant channel here, these two lines, even to as a way of guiding my decisions. So you can see here, this is like I said, I'm also in this trade. Let me just zoom in a bit more. I entered this trade here, on a different trading account. I entered the trade here there was a slight, well, there was a rejection there of the price, even as it went up from here, the bottom. When it got there, it got in the zone, but was rejected. So I entered immediately. I didn't even wait for it to retest the zone. I basically just entered, and you can see it came all the way down. So I traded it down, and I'm now also trading it up. I'm trading it back up. So basically, that is the beauty of, perhaps, if you like, having a whole number of strategies in your toolbox, that you can apply. So I do trade price action. I also trade using indicators. I'll be going to other charts soon, showing you some of the indicators I do use as well. So with this trade, I entered here, like I said, at the close. Let me just zoom in a bit more. I entered at the close of this candle, which was somewhere here, and I took it all the way down. Obviously, it went up, it retraced. I took it all the way down, to over 115 pips, 17 pips, and I'm now taking it back up. So that's the beauty of having a whole number of trading strategies and techniques in your toolbox. Now, let me now take you to other charts. So this is basically, one of the indicators I do use, moving averages. I do use moving averages as well. I also do use fractals. Even as you can see, those arrows, some pointing up, some pointing down. So I trade using fractals as well. I also obviously trade using the Fibonacci tools, both for retracements and extensions. I mean, looking at this one, for instance, this was the bottom of this particular, of the Aussie dollar USD. Basically, I drew a Fibonacci. It retraced more or less to 61.8, and obviously it went back up, giving me, if you like, a somewhat measured move. The Fibonacci is one of the tools I use as well. So I mean, basically, with all these strategies I've shown you today, you could, subscribe to my YouTube channel and get to watch, some of the trading strategies that I use and how I use them. I have done a series of videos, even showing you how I use some of those indicators and strategies. A measured move, obviously, from here to there was about 140. If you were to pick it from where it retraced to, you can see it gives you way more than that, but at least you'll be looking to get exactly the same, at least 140. So anyway, let's move on. Okay, that is the Ichimoku. Now for Ichimoku Kinko Hayo or Hiwi, however it's pronounced in Japan. This is also one of the tools that I use, to good effect. Obviously at first sight, someone is going to wonder, how on earth do you trade using this? But like I say, it depends on what you know, depends on what you've learned and what you've mastered. You can actually get to use, those, I mean, I wouldn't so much call this, an indicator. I wouldn't so much call it, and I would call it a system, because it's made up of a whole number of separate or individual indicators that you could use here, that all work together. I mean, I could trade using, I could trade using just the Chiku span. This is the Chiku span here, the green wiggly line. I could trade using, just the Tinkin-sen, the red line there, as well as the Kijun-sen. I could trade using that, or perhaps just trade using just the cloud. So it depends on what you know. Anyhow, the final one I want to show you is the Bollinger Band. Ooh, that's my indicator of choice. Like I said earlier on, you can see here if you follow the outline of the Bollinger Band, the upper and the lower, on this particular chart here, that is gold, you can see it's in the shape of some creature which I'm sure you know too well. I suppose I'll let you, guess what creature this is. This is one of the strategies that I learned earlier on, in my trading career, if you like. I call it, I call this particular strategy creatures on my chart. Creatures on my chart. The creature on this chart today, I don't know if you want to call it a donkey. I don't know what you want to call it, but you know what I mean. I'll leave that to you to decide. Sometimes you have creatures that look like a bird. You have sometimes creatures that look like some time ago one of those in my community said what she could see was a T-bone. A T-bone. There are other times when you see what looks like the body parts of a man or body parts of a woman. I'm not going to go into details, but I do trade creatures on my chart, which is one of the strategies of mine you can find online. As a matter of fact, I'll be showing you how I trade that, or some aspects of it, because there are a number of ways in which I trade it. I'll be showing you how I trade using the Bollinger Band and creatures on my chart in the second part of this video. So if you're not subscribed to my video channel, my YouTube channel, do subscribe, and also endeavor to click on the notification bell on YouTube, so that each time I come out with a new video, you would be one of the first to receive it. Anyway, let's basically leave it at that. But in answering the question again, what is the best trading strategy, the best technique or trading style to use? I would say again and again, it depends on what you have learned, what you have mastered, what you know, and what works best for you. It actually depends on what delivers lots of pips and profit even to you. I've been trading I've been exposed, to trading for, since 2008, that's about 10 years. And I have been trading actively for the last 3 years. So over time, I've learned a lot of strategies and techniques, and I'm still learning. But I would say if you're just starting out, try to learn just 1 or 2 strategies and techniques and stick to them. Trade with them over a period of time, and of course, if you have to, learn other strategies, but try and master 1 or 2 trading strategies first before moving on to learn others, or else you confuse yourself and you will begin to lose money. You don't want your account to bleed. Anyway, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you would get